This weekend's Grow a Garden update adds about 10 new seeds, 9 new sprinklers / mutation items, and a whole new way to craft inside of the game. This actually might be the biggest update that Grow a Garden has seen so far, and this isn't even the full summer update coming out next week. So first, going into the seed shop here, there's actually a brand new seed at the very bottom that's better than the Ember Lily that just came out last week. We have sugar apples, which cost 819 Robux. I don't have the stock price. Now, besides the new sugar apple being in the seed shop, there are plenty of new seeds that you can actually craft over here. So if you come over to this new crafting station, you can actually craft the crafter seed pack, which you can get the crocus, the succulent, violet corn, bamboo, cocoa vine, or the dragon pepper. And the dragon pepper, as you can see, is a 0.5% chance, so a new very rare fruit in the game. Or you can use different items from the game, as you can see here, to craft different flowers. So you can craft manuka flower, dandelion, lamira, honeysuckle, the bee balm, nectar thorn, and the sun coil. These are 3 new flowers: the bee balm, nectar thorn, and sun coil. The rest of these were actually in the previous week's update with the busy bear. Now, if you don't want to craft the seed packs, of course, you can buy the Exotics Crafter seed pack in here, which you have a little bit better chances to get stuff. And you also have the possibility for rainbow mutations. And here, though, the premium pack, the dragon pepper, is a 7% chance. And next up, the busy bears crafting station has been completely updated. So last week's seeds have been moved to this little station, but the busy bear himself has a new crafting menu here with a ton of new items. So there's a new tropical mist sprinkler, which increases growth speed and size bonus for coconuts, dragon fruits, and mangoes, which takes an hour to craft. And if you have these materials, you can craft it. There's also a berry blusher sprinkler for grapes, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and celesta berries. There's one for spices or peppers. There's also one strictly for watermelons, pumpkins, and melons. There's one for flowers. There's one for stock plants like mushrooms, beanstalks, and bamboos. And then we get down here to these new mutation sprays. Now, the mutation sprays are ways to get mutations on your plants without actually having to wait for certain events. And this will give you the chocolate mutation spray. You can do the same thing for pollination. There's also one for shocked, which would be really good because shocked is still one of the best mutations you can get in the game. And they have a new pack bee, which increases your backpack size by 25. I actually have a pack bee here. So the pack bee is a pet, and once you actually put them on your farm here, then you should have an extra 25 slots per pack bee in your inventory, so that will let you hold more stuff so you can sell more plants at once. Now, again, if we go over here to the gear shop, the only new thing in the gear shop itself is the cleaning spray, which is mostly used to craft stuff. However, as you can see here, it says cleans mutations off of fruits. I don't know the exact reason for there to be a cleaning spray besides for crafting, because I feel like any mutation that you want is very good. However, this might open up the door for the summer update to bring in negative mutations where you'll have to spot clean some plants if they get some kind of negative mutation or disease on them. All right, so we're going to go ahead and check out these new plants because we have a lot of seeds that we got to try out here. So first off, we're going to look at the sugar apples. We're going to grow some of those over here because these are now the new big guys in town, bigger than the beanstalk and bigger than the Ember Lily. And then I guess we'll do a little section over here for the crafter seed pack flowers and plants. So let's do a couple succulents, which these take about 20 minutes to grow. Okay. And then we can do some crocus, which crocus are the most common in the latest seed pack. We have some sun coils. Let's go ahead and do our dragon peppers next. These are the new rarest seed that you can get in this update. So we're going to check out how much this makes. And then we're also going to compare that to the sugar apple because I think those both should make you some pretty good money. And we'll go ahead and grow some of these bamboo seeds that we have next to some violet corn. So you can actually get purple / violet corn now. We'll go ahead and throw in some of these nectar thorns. Let's do some of these bee balms. And last but not least, we have the cocoa vine seeds to plant. All right, so we have our 10 new plants growing in. And we're going to go ahead and let these all just grow in and check all the values of these. And in the meantime, we actually have some fruits to test out with the new sprinklers. So I'm going to go ahead and plant those down as well. And with the tulips or flowers, we can use the new flower froster sprinkler. So let's see what that does to help them. We can go ahead and plant some grapes here. And the grapes actually take the berry sprinkler. All right, I'm going to plant some cacao trees down. And this one uses the spice sprinkler. And then we also can throw down these bamboos, and that should work with the stock sprouter sprinkler, which you can already see it's like taking shape and growing these big bamboos. So that's perfect. That's what we want. All right, we got some mangoes, and this will work with the tropical sprinklers. All right, and then finally we have some watermelon I'm going to try to grow over here, and that will work with the sweet sprinklers. These mango trees look like they're going to be pretty big. The cacao seem to have grown pretty quickly as well. These cocoa vines are going to take hours, so let's definitely get one of these to grow. I kind of want a bigger one, so let's do this one here at the end. All right, so these are all starting to grow, which is good to see. Okay, so we can test out some of these values here. I'm going to go ahead real quick, though, and let's try out these mutation sprays. So we have a pollinated one. Let's try this out. So how does this work? If I click on the orange tulip, okay, that one's already pollinated. Which one's like not pollinated? This? Oh, okay, perfect. So you have so many uses to this, and you can pollinate anything that's not pollinated already. So this is only like a one-time use per one plant. Okay, now you have to only do it per fruit. So I can spray this little one that's growing in, but it doesn't let you spray an entire plant. It's only per fruit. Easy way to get some pollination, so that's pretty cool. I like that they added this. The pollination one is decent, but I'm more excited for this chocolate one because you can't really get chocolate. So we can spray all these to be chocolate, these tulips. And there we go, we got chalk on some of these. And then the best one I think so far is this shocked one because everyone loves shocked. It gives you so much money. And you don't have to sit here and wait for a thunderstorm. You could just grind out some shocked mutations. And look at these, man. Look at all my glowing tulips. All right, there we go. And just like that, let's sell these and see what we can make from the chocolate, shocked, pollinated orange tulips that we have. Let's just go ahead and sell this to Steven. How much are we gonna get for all this? 3.2 mil. All right, well, that's kind of worth it. I mean, if you do all the crafting, you can get a lot of those stack up, and you can also buy them for Robux. So you could definitely get some easy shocked mutated plants, and I need a lot of those. I'm gonna need a lot of those for my garden. All right, so now that some of these plants are actually growing in from using all those sprinklers, you can see, look at this giant golden cacao I got and this other big one here. So it definitely helped with the size of these. All right, so as you can see, all of our new plants are done growing, so we can go ahead and collect these, and we can see the values of all the new fruits. So let's start out with grabbing a succulent and a crocus. These are the two lowest. We have these sun coils, which they're pretty much done, but they're not. Like, I can't collect them yet, so I'm just waiting a minute for these to show up. We have some dragon peppers here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab these. These are the big boys, the rare ones. So I'm gonna grab a couple of these, and then all of these have wet mutations. Okay, I can't collect it yet, but look at how big this one is that's coming in. So let's grab some of these bee bombs. All right, we're gonna grab one of these benboos, and we'll grab a violet corn. We'll grab a nectar thorn. Okay, and then we have some sugar apples. So I'm gonna grab some of these. All right, let's go ahead and check the values of these in the shop. So we're gonna start actually out with the smaller plants first, and we'll work our way up to see how much everything's worth. So this is a pollinated wet crocus, and it's only 0.24 kilograms. This is only worth 90K, but that's actually not bad. It's only pollinated and wet. Let's go ahead and check out our succulent here. We don't have any mutations on our succulent. This one is a little smaller, so we'll value this one to see closer to the minimum value. And this is worth 22K. All right, we'll try the bee balm next. Let's see the value of a bee balm. This one, again, nothing mutated on this. And look, you could give this to your ladies. If you don't want to give it to your ladies and make some money, this is worth 32K. That's no mutations and pretty tiny here. We got a pollinated frozen benboo, and this thing is huge, dude. Like, look how big this thing is. This is worth 2.1 million. Okay, that's actually pretty good. I mean, I don't know what the base value would be worth if this thing wasn't frozen and pollinated and so big. Also, look at this giant violet corn growing in. Let's go ahead and check the value of this while we're at it. Let's go to our violet corns. Let's check the regular smaller size one that we have here first. This is worth 112K, and then this gigantic one that we have is worth almost 500K. Okay, so those are actually pretty good as well. All right, let's do the smaller one. This thing has a wet mutation. It's pretty small, and it is worth 60K. All right, let's see if it's 2 kilograms bigger. It is worth 88K. All right, and now let's get to the big boys. We have some dragon peppers to check out. So I actually have a pretty big dragon pepper I'm going to try the value of here. And let's go ahead and see this. That is 342K for an 8 kilogram wet dragon pepper. No other mutations on it. But let's try the value of this. This thing is worth 20 kilograms of a dragon pepper, 1 mil. So This would be like 120 mil, I believe, with shocked. This is gonna be your new go-to for some money. Dude, also, what is happening? Look at this nectar fruit that's growing in. Why are these so big? We're gonna check out the sugar apples now. Let's just do a regular sugar apple that's kind of smaller, no mutations, and let's see what the value is of this. So what is the sugar apple gonna be at? 60k. Last week's Ember Lily's like 50k base value. Let's do a little bit of a bigger one with some mutations on it. So this has wet on it. Let's see what wet does by itself. Okay, that's already up to 126k, and then we have an 11 kilogram one, which is valued at 78k. Again, no mutations on that. Sugar apple's pretty good. Those dragon peppers, though, honestly might be the new candy seeds. I think that's what everyone's going to want to get now is these dragon peppers. And not only that, but they look pretty cool. Oh, wait, this big dragon pepper that Shock just grew in. I'm going to go ahead and quickly test the value of this. Let's see what this bad boy is worth. 47 mil. Okay, pretty good. And look how cool this looks, man. This big cocoa vine. How much is this worth, Steven? Tell me. 677,000. I don't know if it's because this one's a big one or if it's just the value of this thing. The sun coil is ready, so I'm gonna go ahead and collect this. All right, let's go ahead and see how much a sun coil is actually worth. This thing looks like a sunflower, and it is worth 152k with no mutations and only 13 kilograms. So lots of new fruits coming out this update that will make your garden not only look good, but it'll also make your pockets look good. All right, but that is pretty much it for this update video. So let me know down in the comments below what your new favorite plant is in this update.